guys see that? Did you see that? Guys, we need to talk. Update. I am in a Jordanian family house. Hello everybody. Today I'm going to be talking about my wonderful experience in Iraq Al Amir. So let's get into it. So it all started when I was in Amman. I was doing research the night before with my mom, and she was like, you should go to Iraq Al Amir. And I was like, where is that? And she was like, oh, I don't really know, you'll have to look it up. So I looked it up, and it's like this tiny rural village in kind of like the southwest. It's like southwest of Amman. So I looked it up and I was like, oh, damn, it's only like 30 minutes away from where I stayed, like drive. So I was looking, there's like a castle there, there's caves, it's very quiet, and she said it's like located like a hidden gem. So I was like, why not? I'll take a day and go there. So I figured out that I couldn't really figure out if there was any buses there. So I decided to take an Uber because it only cost me like 12 JD, I think 12 to 15 JD. It was like pretty cheap for a 30-minute taxi. It was like around $20. So I was like, okay, I'll do that this time. So I got the Uber. So I woke up in the morning, I ordered my Uber. On the drive there, it was so nice. I was like, wow, this is wonderful. But this place, I had no idea like anything about it. Like I was completely like about it. I had absolutely no idea. But this place, I just kind of like was like, I'm just gonna dive right into it. Why not? So I drove there, Uber. Low-key, no idea how I was gonna get back because it's a rural village in the middle of freaking Jordan. So I was just like, I'm just gonna go and figure it out. So I got dropped off at the castle. Hello everyone. Today I'm in Qasr Al Abed, and yeah, so I'm in Iraq Al Amir. But now that I'm here, I just realized that I can't get an Uber back, which was kind of oopsie. But I'm sure there are taxis. I'm sure that there are some sort of buses because I saw a bus. So hopefully I will be able to get back, because I think I saw a bus that goes to Wadi Asir. I know that that's not that far, but it's better than anything because from there I can get Uber home or I can get on the bus. Because Wadi Asir is like suburbs of Amman. Right now I'm completely out of Amman. I'm not that far, but like it's not walking distance at all. So it was really pretty. I liked it. It was really hot though. It was 38 degrees today, and I was like, damn. I had 2 bottles of water with me, like a 500 milliliter bottle of water and like a 300 milliliter bottle of water. So I had like around 800 mils, which is not a lot if I'm out for a whole day. So I was really hoping that I would be able to find a stall or something in this village, but I didn't end up finding anything. So I have a very good question. So this castle here was built in like 200 BC or something. I don't really remember. Like, it was never finished because some king that was made for died, so they never finished it. then in around 360 something AD, there was a big like earthquake that, you know, ruined the castle. But like, I just want to ask, like, when they were building this, apparently according to the internet, like a block like of this castle could weigh up to 25 tons. So my question is, how did they lift these blocks to build this whole structure? I don't understand, like, these Roman things, like, how did they build them? That's a big mystery to me. Like, how did they do it? I don't really know how they built this. I don't really know how much of it is restored, because a lot of it's still, you know, some of it's cracked. I don't know what has been put back together and what hasn't. What has always been there, it's kind of confusing to me. It's a weird concept, but I mean, this castle is like 2,000 years old, so I'm really surprised if a lot of it was put back together. And some of it just doesn't make sense. I don't know if they tried, but like there's pieces of like the castle like everywhere. So it must be like a puzzle to be able to do this. It must be a puzzle putting this back together. I'm not surprised. I don't know what my conclusion is about this place yet. It's nice, but is it worth to travel here to go to these places? I'm not sure yet. I'll let you guys know. After I was done with the castle, I hung out there. I had my lunch. I did videos. I was there for around probably 2 hours, maybe 1.5 hours. I decided around 12 p.m. that it was enough. That it was time to leave. They had a bathroom, which was amazing, because in this rural village, I had no idea where I was going to go to the bathroom. So I went to the bathroom. What is all these things? By the way, I have chickens, I have a cat, there's birds, they're not my birds, and there's cars, there's people yelling. But I thought it'd be nice to film out here. So I left the castle, and I was walking up the road. I made a few videos, and I found like these cactus plants, and they were so pretty. I loved them. Like the cactus fruit, so pretty. Look what I just found. I found the prickly pears, like the cactus pears. Look. Oh my goodness. Did a few videos, and I was looking for a stall to buy like Coke or like water. Did not find anything. I found, like, I was looking on the map and there was one, but it was kind of like, I don't even remember what it was. I was like, this is not even a food stall or a little store. Anyway, so I looked on the map and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to the caves now. So I kept walking. I walked around like 20 minutes and I got to the caves. It was completely empty. No, it was not completely empty. I ran into 2 people and they were like photographers from Russia or something. So I explored the caves. There was like a huge warning at the entrance, like warning, like there's no supervision, or like you go here at your own risk, because the caves weren't stabilized. Like it could collapse at any time if you like threw something at the roof or something, or it could just collapse, because they're like ancient ruins where I think Bedouins were living in. I don't quote me on that, but I think Bedouins used to stay there and like store their food and things like that. Like it was like a kind of like a refrigerator, because it was 38 degrees there, and like inside the caves it was maybe like 20. It was a little bit colder in the caves. I like that. So I started exploring. So I took a 20-minute break because the sun was like really killing me. So I sat there, and now I'm going to enter this cave, do a little bit of exploration. I do have to be careful, however, because it's old. Pieces could fall at any time. Very scared. Oh my god. That literally looks so dangerous. Look. I could literally fall any time. Okay, I'm going in. there was tons of bats. There was like some little caves that I'd walk into, and like bats would just fly at me. I was like, holy shit. Okay. I found even deeper. I don't know if you guys saw that, but like all the bats got scared because they heard me. Oh my god. There's more to explore. There's bats. I can't see them. Where are they? They like dark spots. I don't see them, but I hear them. That looks really. Oh my god. Did you guys see that? Did you see that? There was a bat. I don't know if I caught that on camera. There's more, like, oh my god, there's bats right there. Wait, I don't know if you guys can see it on the camera. I can't see. There's like, they're really fucking noisy. Oh my god. I think you guys can see it. I don't know if you can. It's flying. And there's two bats. I can't see. I'll have to put this somewhere shaded. Okay. Wait, can I turn my brightness? Oh, it's already up. There's two bats here. Three. There, they're hanging, sleeping because it's daytime. And like, you would just look in and all these like eyes would like turn at you like in the movies. I mean, that's a little bit dramatic. But yeah, I hung out there. I ate a little more. I brought some, what was it? Makluba with me, I think it was. But I was being careful because, you know, I'd already been out for like 3 to 4 hours by this point, and it was 38 degrees and I thought that the food might have gone bad. So I was like being really careful with what I was eating. My water was at the bottom of my bag, so it was still cold. So yeah, I spent around an hour at the caves just exploring. There wasn't too much to explore there, but it was really interesting. I would actually very much recommend going to Iraq Al Emir, more than some of the sites in Amman actually. It was very interesting. So then I continued. I visited this, I'm not really sure what it was. I could research it and put it on the screen, but it was like this women's foundation thing. There was like a little mosque and they had like their club. I went in and I wasn't really sure what it was, but I didn't want to dwell too much time there. There was these lots of middle-aged women there and they were welcoming me in. And I think it was supposed to be like a restaurant as well, but it was closed. So I kind of just walked through there, took a few pictures, and then I moved on. Went round. There was lots of tour buses in this place, but like they would just stop and go to this foundation thing, take pictures and leave. They didn't even stop at the caves. No idea. By the way, the whole taxi situation, because you know, I figured out actually when I got off the Uber that I tried to like book an Uber back because I was like, I need to figure out the situation before I actually do anything. I figured out that I cannot get an Uber back. So I was like, shit, what am I gonna do? And these guys were like, like the ticket officers, by the way, entrance to the castle is 0, what was it? 1 to 2 JD. It was really cheap, barely anything. And they kept pressuring me. They were like, do you want water? Do you want water? I was like, I knew they were trying to be nice, but I was like, no, because I didn't want them to charge me or anything. I was too nervous to like talk to them, engage with them, because this was after my Jewish experience. I was too weary of men, and they kept asking me to like for a taxi, and I was like, no, I don't want to get taxis because usually they overcharge tourists. So I was like, no, I'll figure out my own way home. He was like, are you sure? Because I was like leaving to like go to the caves. I was like, I'm sure I'll figure something out. and they kept coming towards me, and I was trying to film and like read stuff. I wanted to learn about the castle, but I couldn't read it properly because they kept harassing me, kept going ooh in my ear, like that bird. Exactly. Good imitation of what these men were like. So yes, I ended up telling them, I kept saying no, I'm not getting Uber, and plus I want to explore, like I just got here, I was here for 2 hours, like guys, chill. So okay, back to the whole Women Foundation thing. I started walking. I decided to stop in this driveway because my plan was, because I was actually running low on water. I looked at my phone and there was supposed to be a park in Iraklimir. So I thought maybe there would be like a store near there and I could rest there and it would be nice, and then I would go home. It was like a 30-minute walk or something, but it was quite dangerous, this place, by the way. You have to be careful because there's no pavements, no sidewalks. There's just road. So I was like going up the hill because it was a very hilly rural village. So I was just walking up the road, and I was walking next to the road. So every time a car would come down, it was like her coming towards me, and I'd have to swerve. It was like fucking terrifying. So and it was 38 degrees. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. It was boiling. So I was walking up the hill, going towards the park, when I decided, you know what, I need a break. It's like really hot. So I stopped in this driveway, but I didn't know it was a driveway, okay? I thought it was just a little country road, you know, take me home. So I stopped in this driveway. I sat down, put my bag down, had a wee sip of water, and I was like, oh, I've got none left. And by the way, when it's 38 degrees in Jordan, in the middle of a rural village that you don't know, where you don't even know how you're going to get a taxi back. I was even contemplating, because it was like a 2.5 hour to 3 hour walk back to where my oh my god, there's a plane, that's cute. To where I live. So I didn't even know how I was gonna get back. I was like planning this all out. I was like, okay, if I leave before 6 p.m, by the way, if I leave at like 4 p.m, then I'll definitely make it back before the sun sets. Like if I had to walk, I was just like contemplating in my head everything. But it's very dangerous if you don't have water and if you can't find water, because it's 38 degrees, you could get heat stroke, and if you collapse on the road, you're gonna die, because who's gonna pick you up? And you don't know the situation. Any guy could come, kidnap you, whatever, see that you're vulnerable. You just have to be very careful in the situation. So I was trying to ration my water, but it was getting to a point where I was needing to get water. So I was like, okay, I drank my water, but I'm gonna have to get moving because I need to go find some. But as I was just about to get up, this family comes. Not a family, it was a car like turns in. The woman was in the passenger seat, the man was in the driver's seat. The woman was wearing a police officer uniform. I thought they were just gonna drive past me. I was just sitting there when she rolls down her window, and she's like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she looks at my empty water bottle and she's like, "Do you need water?" And I was like, I looked at it and I was like, okay, she's a police officer and it's a woman. I was like, yeah, I do. She was like, come, just follow us. We'll get you some water. And I was like, okay. So I followed them and I realized that I was sitting in the driveway of their house. By the way, it was like a 100-meter driveway, but I didn't clock that there was like a house there that I was literally sitting in someone's driveway. So I went to their house. I went in and to their little like kind of patio, but it had like a roof, but it wasn't their house. They had like cats there and stuff, and I was just like, I felt very awkward because I felt bad that I'm like invading into their home. But they said, okay, give me your water bottle. They got me some very cold water. I was like, wow, thank you so much. And they were like, do you need anything else? I was like, no. And then they were like, what's your name? And they were asking me questions about why I was there, because I was in a very rural village. It's like hidden. It's like not many people go there. And I was answering all their questions, like saying, oh, I just, I went to the castle. I went to the caves and it was very nice. Love it. And they were like, what are you doing here? And I was like, well, I'm traveling alone. I'm in Jordan. I've been in Jordan for about, I think at this point I was there for about 10 days. And they're like, really, where have you been? And I told them all the places I've been so far. They're like, wow, I'm glad that you're here in our village. It's very nice. And I was like, yeah. And they're like, and I was like answering some questions in Arabic, and they were like, do you speak Arabic? And I was like, because their English wasn't that great. Only the women knew some English. The husband knew nothing. And I was speaking to them in Arabic. They were like, do you study Arabic here? I was like, no, I study in Scotland. They were like, you can study it in Scotland? I was like, yeah. They were like, are you going to school here? And I was like, no, I'm just staying with the host family, just traveling alone. I'm 17. They're like, you're 17? Alone? And I was like, yeah. And they're like, wow, that's amazing. And they're like, can we add you on Facebook? And I was like, of course, yeah. This woman, she has children. She was pregnant, and she told me like her children are at her sister's house, and she was like, you know what, like next time when you, because I told her basically that next year I'm going to study in Jordan, which by the way is not happening anymore. So I told her basically that I was going to study in Jordan next year, but by the way, my teacher persuaded me to not apply for Jordan for a semester abroad. She told me to apply somewhere else, but they told me not to because of the war and because they were having to evacuate the students this year. Okay, anyway, completely steering away from what the video is about. I told her I was going to study in Jordan next year, not happening anymore, but she basically said like, oh, next time come back, we'll give you a gift. And I was like, no, I need to bring you a gift, thank you so much. And she was like, no. I was like, yes, and I will bring my mother too. I think this woman's like 26, 27, by the way. She did not look that. I thought she was like 22. So, kitty cat. So then she was like, do you want to come to my sister's house for lunch? I was like, I looked at her. She seemed so nice. She was a police officer. I fully trusted her, and I still trust her. So I was like, you know what? Yeah, why not? So we went together. I don't know how the husband felt. The husband was chill. So I got into their car. We started driving up a fucking hill to this person's house, to her sister's house. I was so nervous. I was literally shitting my pants. I was like, oh my god, what did I just get myself into? But by this point, it was like 2 p.m. I was like, hell yeah, why not? So, we were just talking, yapping. It was fun. I think they told me that. I was like, do you ever do this before? Like, do you ever just randomly invite tourists into your house? She was like, no, this is the first time. I was like, okay, sure. So I went into their sister's house, and low-key, they weren't even questioning the tourists. They were just like, oh, this is Melissa. She's here visiting Iraq al-Emir. We're bringing her for lunch. And they're all just like so welcoming. Like, I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it. Like, such a surreal experience. I'm so sad I didn't get much videos of being in there. But there was like basically her sister, her husband, another sister and husband, 3 children, I think, 2 or 3 children, and there was someone else. I'm not really sure who they were. Oh yeah, grandpa was there. So I went in there, I sat down. They were all like curious, asking me lots of questions. They were all so welcoming. They weren't even like, none of them seemed like they didn't want me there. They were all so welcoming, and it's so amazing. I find this so amazing about like Jordanian and just Arab culture in general. They're so hospitable, and they're so respectful, and they're so, I don't know, like Scotland could never, honestly. Scotland could never. They could never. Like, they just picked up this random girl from the street. They don't know me, like I don't know them, but they also don't know me, and they just trusted me and I trusted them, and we, they sat me down. It wasn't like this massive meal, okay? It was like, basically, they got like a kind of takeaway thing. It was like a box with chicken and rice and chips, and another box with chicken and rice and chips and khubs, and some sauce. So there's 2 boxes. And there was only her husband and her that were eating. And they gave me one of the boxes. So I assume that one of the boxes was supposed to be for the wife and one of the boxes was supposed to be for the husband. And I felt so bad. I was like, oh my god, I'm literally eating someone else's food. So I ate very little. And they were like, eat more. And I was like, I am eating. And they were like, no, kuli, eat more. You need to eat. You need the energy. And I was like, okay. And I ate some. I just didn't want to eat it all. I felt so bad. I was literally eating somebody else's food. So I ate. We ate together. We talked. And then I got sat back down on the couch in the living room again. And they were all still asking me questions. Honestly, I would just, I would reenact the whole thing, but I also don't remember everything that they were asking me. They were just asking me about why I'm there, what I'm studying, like how old am I, what am I doing there, all the basic questions. And they're just telling me about themselves. And oh yeah, by the way, I added that woman on Facebook, like the woman I met, but I'm still in contact with her. Haven't really spoken to her since, but I definitely will get in contact with her when I go back to Jordan. They were so sweet. And the kids were so sweet as well. They were low-key just like, they were the ones that were the most confused. They were like, random lady. So I got sat down on the couch. They brought me tea and coffee to try, like the Jordanian coffee. I tried it. They were like, do you like coffee? I was like, no. And they're like, you're gonna try it anyway. And I was like, okay. So I took it. I was like in a little cup. I went. They were like, not good. I was like, better. They were all laughing. But the tea, I had so much sugar in it, but it was really good. I love the tea. And then we were all just talking. I was there for probably like 2 hours as well. And we were all just talking. And one of the guys, like the uncles of the children, said like, oh, where are you staying, by the way? And I was like, I'm staying in Amman, near Makkah Mall. And they're like, oh, so today we're actually driving our 2 daughters. They were twins, by the way, so cute. Wait, were they twins? Were they twins? No, one of them was older, one of them was younger. They're like, we're driving one of our daughters to, like, for an appointment, in Aswifia, which is, like, kind of, like, 30 minutes, like, not 30-minute, no, 45-minute walk to Makkah Mall. So I was like, cool. And they were like, do you want to come with us? We'd happily take you back. I was like, you don't have to do that. I can just get a taxi. And they were like, no, we'll take you. We'll take you. And I was like, thank you so much. I had no idea how I was going to get home today, actually. Because there was taxis going around, but I was like scared. But these people are so kind.
Guys, we need to talk. Update. I am in a Jordanian family house. They invited me for lunch and like gave me tea and they're so nice. I got this like lady's Facebook. It's insane. Oh my god. And one of their family is willing to take me back to Amman for free. Oh my god, I wanna cry. They're so nice. Like I was at the side of the road when this lady and her husband were driving back to their house. Like they're driving, I was literally sitting in their driveway to get rest. And she started asking me for water, inviting me for lunch. It was insane, I'm telling you. They're so kind. I'm in their bathroom right now. I'm so happy. They like fed me everything. I didn't eat to my full, but because I was like, I felt bad taking their food. But they were so kind and they gave me figs and water. They're so hospitable. Oh my god. I was telling them I come to Scotland and we'll what's in your room. They're so kind. I'm gonna go pee now.
So then, after like 30 minutes, it was finally time for us to go. By this time it was probably like 5 p.m. So we got up. I said goodbye to the whole family, said goodbye to the woman that I met and her husband. They were so sweet. So sweet. It was the most kind interaction I've ever had with Jordanians, like, in my life. So kind. So kind to feed me, welcome me to their home with so much hospitality. It was amazing. I can't wait to see them again, genuinely. Like, it was so amazing. So got into their car, I was talking to them. It was like a 30-minute drive back. Their kids were like looking, like kind of staring at me, but they were so cute, so cute. I was trying to use as much Arabic as possible. It was a really good opportunity for me to immerse and just use my Arabic, and amazing. I loved it so much. So fun. So then I got dropped off at this, I don't know why, but the guy was going into a store, and basically I got told, like, okay, order your Uber. So I ordered my Uber to go back because the bus situation was a little bit complicated. I ordered my Uber, and when it finally came, I was like, okay, thank you guys so much for your hospitality. I can't wait to see you guys next year. Thank you so much for your hospitality. It was amazing. Thank you so much. I was like, oh, amazed by these people. So I got out. I waved to them, bye-bye. And I got into the Uber. I was smiling. I was like, I just had the best experience ever. I drove back to Mecca Mall, and when I told my hostess everything, they were like, wow. And I was talking to my Japanese friends, and they were like, we have never experienced anything like that before. I was like, really? This is not normal? They're like, no. I mean, they're hospitable, but like, you don't just get welcomed into somebody's house like every time of the day. I'm getting scared about what I'm touching. So yeah, I got back to my house. I told everybody what happened. I called my mom. She was amazed because, like, when I told her, basically I called her when I was at the castle. I was like, I just figured out that I can't get an Uber back. She was like, you'll find your way back. Don't worry. I truly believe that everything's going to be okay. And the hostess of the house that I was staying in told me that she would get someone to come get me if I had to be, if I happen, oh my god, why did I say sorry to a plant? If I said, because there's spikes, jaggies. So, she told me she'd come get someone to come get me if I was stuck. Yeah, my mom told me, like, you'll be absolutely fine. I know you'll figure out your way home. So yeah, I actually did. She was right. I found a very good way home. I got taken home for free. It was insane. It was insane. They didn't charge me anything. I was like, do you want any money for the diesel? And they were like, no, of course not. Like, we're going here anyway. And I was like, okay, thank you so much. I didn't give these family any money. I kept trying to give them money for the food, money for the gas, money for their hospitality. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. They were like, no, hell no. I was like, thank you. I just felt so awkward. I was like, oh my god. I need to bring them back gifts when I go back to Jordan. I need to bring back gifts. So yeah, my mom was very happy. She was like, wow, that is so good. And I was like, yeah, this is going to be content for a video. She was like, did you get any videos? I was like, not really. I didn't really want to disrespect them because I have to be careful with who I film. They were like, my mom was so mad. She was like, why didn't you get at least a picture? I was like, I don't know them. I felt too awkward. I felt too awkward to ask for pictures, to take videos in their house, take videos of stuff. So for me, it was a little bit awkward. So then it was very exciting. So this whole trip, this Iraq Al Amir experience, top 2 experience. First was my first day in Jordan when I went to the Citadel and Wasat al Balad, like downtown. And this second experience was Iraq Al Amir, 100%, so good. Would recommend visiting there. Amazing. Not just because I ran into a family or got welcomed by family into their house. The castle was amazing. The caves, and the caves were free. The castle was like 2JD, 1 to 2JD or something very low like that. The downside was I didn't find any stalls like for stores. there was a toilet at the castle, so that's good. And it was very peaceful. Literally no tourists at all, barely any. And it was just amazing. I mean, obviously the whole family thing added to it, but I would have loved it even without the family. I never ended up making it to that park, by the way, that I was talking about I was gonna visit, but that didn't even matter at that point. I was like, wow, this is, what a day. What a day. It was amazing. It really just made me feel more connected to Jordanians. It was a true experience. Like, I practiced my Arabic improved. Like, your Arabic and language and true cultural exchange, like, and building bridges between cultures happens when you talk to people, when you meet people, speak to them in the language. That's when you make connections and make friends. So I'm very excited to see them again, hopefully, if they want to. But I checked on my Facebook. I was like, okay, she's still my friend, because a lot of the Jordanians I met that I added on social media, they unadd me after like a week. I'm like, are you serious? It makes me sad because I want to make connections, but yeah, I still have them, so I'm hoping for a future. That family is so kind. So yeah, anyway, would recommend visiting Iraq Al-Mir. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. My next video, I'm still thinking about what it's gonna be. I'm thinking Scary Story Part 2, because there's a lot more. Or I'm thinking Assault, or maybe Madaba, or maybe just make a video in general about like hidden gems in Jordan, or maybe like facts I didn't know before, like important things you should know before going to Jordan that I didn't know, or like tips, or I don't know, but I'll figure something out. Okay, I'll think about it. Like, I'll ask you guys on Instagram what you guys want. But a lot of people wanted to know about like what it was like for me to apply to uni at 15 and go at 16. Like what that was like for my first year, because I mean I'm still young. I'm 18 and I'm just about to go into third year of uni, which is insane, by the way. It feels like I literally just started and I'm still 16. But someone also requested like day in the life as a uni student. Unfortunately, can't do that because I'm on study leave now, so that's like not really a thing. But definitely we'll do that when I go to Qatar and Taiwan, which is happening, by the way. Stay tuned. Don't worry, there's so much more content coming, guys. August to December, I'm gonna be in Qatar too. That's gonna be filmed. Taiwan, that's gonna be a big one too. Taiwan from February to June. And then after that, I don't know. But there's so much content coming. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked it, please leave a like, please subscribe, and comment down below anything you want, any questions. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye bye.